Efforts of various departments are coordinated, interlinked, and integrated through formal organization. There is no ambiguity in the role that each member has to play as duties are specified. When you have a formal organization, the organization will run in a very stable manner. Hello everyone, I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence. In continuation of my sessions on this chapter, Organizing, in this session, I will be discussing on what are the different types of organization. So in an organization, we can find the different organizational structures, and within the structures, we have a certain type of organization which we call as the formal and informal organization. Now, what is this formal and informal organization? So, in a formal organization, it refers to the organization structure which is designed by the management to accomplish a particular task. So, in my previous sessions on organizing, already explained to you what is the meaning of the word organizing, what is the process of organizing. So, in an organizing process, we all know that we create division, we have a division of work, and for each work we have departments, and each department we create positions, and each position we create the authority and responsibility relationships. So, whatever this authority responsibility relationship which is created by the organization for running the organization, that we call it as the formal organization. Now, it refers to the organization structure which is designed by the management to accomplish a particular task. So, whatever the task is to be performed by that particular division of the organization has to be done by that particular department. So, it is the formal structure created for a particular purpose. So, that is called as a formal organization. And in a formal organization, it clearly specifies the boundaries of authority and responsibility, and there is systematic coordination among the various activities to achieve the organizational goals. So, in a formal organization, we have a clear-cut authority and responsibility relationship among the various positions in the organization, and there is coordination. So, you cannot just run the organization in isolation. So, all the departments have to be coordinated in order to run the business as a whole. Now, so we need to have a system of authority and responsibility relationship within the organization, and also coordination among various departments to achieve the organizational goals, and this is done with the help of the formal organization. Now, next, we'll just look into what are the features of a formal organization. We will just see here. If you can see the picture here, there is a divisional head or the team manager who is just explaining the work to be done by his teammates. So, this is a formal organization. It is an example for, or it is a picture of a formal organization. So, in a formal organization, it specifies the relationship amongst various job positions and the nature of their interrelationship. So, in a formal organization, we will know who is the boss and who is the subordinate, who is the superior, who is the subordinate. Now, the superior has authority to give orders and also exact obedience from his subordinates, and in the same way, it is the subordinate's responsibility to follow the orders and submit the work on time to his superior. So, there is a clear-cut relationship between the authority and responsibility of the superior and the subordinate in a formal organization. So, there is a clarity of relationships. We all know who is the boss and who has to report to whom, and who has the right to give orders, who has the right to exact obedience. So, all this is clearly specified in a formal organization. Then, it is a means to achieve the objectives specified in the plans as it lays down rules and procedures essential for their achievement. Now, in a formal organization, superior or the boss will have all the authority to give orders and get the work done. And how the work is to be done and what is the work to be done and the time frame, everything will be decided beforehand in a formal organization. Now, the work can be done as per the plans, as per the rules and procedures, and so with the help of everything, all these things, so we will be able to accomplish the work which has been assigned to us. Then the next feature of a formal organization, here these are the features of a formal organization. So in a formal organization, so we can see that third feature is efforts of various departments are coordinated, interlinked and integrated through formal organization. So you can see that there is a coordination of efforts of different departments. Suppose there is a production department which is engaged in production of a particular product. So the production department, it needs the help of the stock departments where the stock of raw materials has to be released and which has to be taken to the factory where the production will be done, and to buy the stock it needs the sanction of the finance department and the finance has to be released to buy the stock. So in this way we can see that all the departments are correlated and interrelated in a formal organization. Only then it can run. Then it is deliberately designed by the management to facilitate the smooth functioning of the organization. So a formal organization is designed by the management. So the management wants this formal organization so that it can run its activities. So whatever the business activities are there, it can be run with the help of this formal organization, and it places more emphasis on work to be performed than interpersonal relationships among the employees. So there is more emphasis on the work to be done. So what is the work to be done by each department and how the work has to be done and what is the target for each employee, everything will be clearly specified in a formal organization, and there is no room for interpersonal relationships. So the boss gives the orders to the subordinates. It is his duty to carry out the orders as per the boss's instructions, and there is no room for social relationship or there is no room for intermingling of the boss and the subordinate. So there are clear-cut work relationships in a formal organization, and everything will be as per the instructions or as per the orders of the top level management. So let us look into what are the advantages of having a formal organization. Here in the formal organization, it is easy to fix responsibility since mutual relationships are clearly defined. So in a formal organization which is created by the top management, each person's duties, responsibilities and authorities are clearly specified, and what is the work expected from each employee will be clearly defined. So if that work is not done, we can clearly say that such and such a work has not been done by this person. So it is easy to fix responsibility in case of a formal organization. So this is one of the greatest advantage of having a formal organization. Then next advantage is there is no ambiguity in the role that each member has to play as duties are specified. So there is no confusion about the role of each person. So what is his role? What is his duty? What is his responsibility? So everything has been clearly specified and there is no confusion as such. So it is one of the second advantage of having a formal organization, and it also helps in avoiding duplication of effort. So there is no duplication of effort because each person's role is clear cut in a formal organization. Now, the next advantage of having a formal organization is the unity of command is maintained through an established chain of command. So in a formal organization, we can see that there is a chain of command which runs throughout the organizational structure. So authority flows from top to bottom and responsibility flows from bottom to top. So we have to maintain this chain of command to see that all the activities are carried out in a planned and a phased manner. And the unity of command. So here there is the team leader or the team manager who is commanding his teammates. So these are the teammates here, and he is commanding them. So he is the team leader. So he is commanding his teammates. So this unity of command is established in a formal organization. Then next advantage is it leads to effective accomplishment of goals by providing a framework for operations to be performed and ensuring that each employee knows the role he has to play. Now, this formal organization helps in achievement of goals of the organization. Whatever is the goal of the organization. So, based on that, they give us a framework, and based on the framework, we have the resources allocation and the targets for each employee. Everything is predetermined and everybody has to follow this rule. So, when everybody does his part of the job, in the end, we will have a very good result. That is, we can achieve the organizational goals. Then, the next advantage of having a formal organization is it provides the stability to the organization. So, when you have a formal organization, the organization will run in a very stable manner. You can see this person who is balancing act here. So, the same way, when the organization is on the basis of a formally run organization, there will be stability in its operations. So, because how we can get stability? Because behavior of employees can be fairly predicted since there are specific rules to guide them. So, in a formal organization, we have the specific set of rules and regulations to be followed by all the employees of the organization, and in case they do not follow, there is also a threat of punishment or penalty imposed on such persons who go against the rules of the organization. So, it is easier for the organization to run on the basis of a formal organization. Then next we go into the limitations. Now, what are the limitations of having a formal organization? So, the first limitation is it may lead to procedural delays as the established chain of command has to be followed, which increases the time taken for decision making. If you can see this, all these things are going on in the mind of this person. So, we can call this as the decision making. So, if he has to think, so all these things will be going on in his mind. So, in a formal organization, there are procedural delays. So, why procedural delays? Because everything has to be, all the decisions have to be taken by the top management level, and he has to see to the all the various aspects of the business, and he has to give his time for each aspect. So, it will take time. So, it increases the time taken for decision making. So, this is one of the limitations of having a formal organization. So, next limitation of a formal organization is poor organization practices may not provide adequate recognition to creative talent since it does not allow any deviations from the rigidly laid down policies. Now, in a formal organization, see that everything has to be done as per the plans and no deviations are allowed. So, what will happen is the creative talent in the employees will not be adequately recognized. So, this is one disadvantage of a formal organizational structure. Then, the next disadvantage is it is difficult to understand all human relationships in an enterprise. So, as it places more emphasis on structure and work. So, in a formal organization, there is more importance on the organizational structure and the work to be done, and it does not give any importance to the human relationships. So, you can see this, all persons, they are separate, and as such there is no social interaction between these individuals, and this is one drawback of the formal organization. So, it gives more emphasis on the structure and the work to be done, and there is no importance given for social relationships among the people working in the organization. And then the last limitation is it does not provide a complete picture of how an organization works. So these are the various limitations of having a informal organization. So with this, we have come to the end of this session on formal organization. Thank you.